This is the second generation Star Trek Johhny G Spinner series bike, and what dictates second generation is they changed the bikes from black to silver. This is a Star Trek Johhny G Spinner Elite. I don't have a Pro in front of me, but the difference between the Pro and the Elite is the Pro has a standard handlebar with the priest position, 1, 2, and 3. The Elite is the Elite has the smart release flywheel, which is red in color. That indicates smart release. The Elite also has a new handlebar system that they designed and integrated into the second generation Johhny G Spinner series bikes, which is the Pro, the Elite, and the NXT. You can tell second generation bikes by color and by the shape of the fender. The silver bikes they made, like I said, they made the Pro, they made the Elite. The Elite also has the SPD basket combo pedal that Mad Dog Athletics designed, and Welgo builds that pedal for spinning, and Star Trek integrated it into their bikes, into the second generation bikes, which include the Elite and the NXT. The second generation Star Trek Spinner Elite with the smart release also has Star Trek's new re-engineered smart release, which, unlike the black Star Trek Spinner Elite with a red flywheel sticker, which was seriously chain lubricant sensitive, and the Schwinns with the red flywheel stickers as well, the second generation Star Treks that incorporated smart release, that design is no longer lubricant sensitive, so you can lubricate the bike conventionally as you would a bicycle or anything else. You don't have to be so careful as to not contaminate the smart release. A lot of spinner Pros and Elites for sale on eBay and Craigslist. Again, second generation Star Trek spinners, silver frame, this type of a fender shape. What to watch out for with a bike like this? Mainly drivetrain feel. These bikes are notorious for having drivetrains that have been over-tightened, either from the factory or from the guy at the gym who changes the light bulbs and wipes down the treadmills. He's working on the spin bikes too. And when there's a complaint about the bike, it seems like the most common thread in terms of adjusting the bike is to make everything tight. So a lot of second generation Spinner Pros, Spinner Elites, and NXTs as well floating around out there with shot out drivetrains due to technicians adjusting the drivetrain, which translates into making it so tight that it destroys the flywheel sprocket and the chain wheel. So pay attention to those things. I love these bikes because they're so simple to refurbish. If I get a bike this generation, used, and it's aesthetically it passes the snuff test, what we do with this bike is we replace the flywheel bearings, we replace the bottom bracket, we replace the chain, we replace the saddle, we replace the resistance pad, we retap the levelers. One thing about a bike this old, this is going to be a 5-6-year-old bike. Typically in the clubs, the levelers tend to get adjusted until they're all the way out of the bases, which means that the leveler is unscrewed completely out and it's hanging in there by a couple of threads. And the momentum of the rider using the bike over and over and over causes those few threads that are hanging inside the base of the bike to just completely flatten out. You can no longer adjust the leveler, and you can't screw it back in, you can't screw it back out. So if you buy a used bike in this generation, check the levelers, see if they're seized, see if the levelers will screw out. If you can screw them out and the top of the threads are flattened, you need to replace the levelers, and you also need to chase the leveler holes with a tap. And this is a great bike to own if you can find it in great condition and the drivetrain hasn't been completely destroyed by a technician inside of a gym. Test drive before you buy it. These are current generation Schwinn Evolutions. This is the bike that's currently produced by Schwinn. This is the Evolution, this is the Evolution SR. These bikes are bomb-proof bikes. They're so current that if you can find them and they've been built and tuned and maintained, there's a lot of them on the market, and you can usually find them for a pretty good price. The difference between the Evolution and the SR is very, very simple. The SR has a red seat, the SR has a red flywheel sticker. And again, the red flywheel sticker dictates smart release, which is a safety feature for unsupervised riders. The other thing about the smart release is that if someone's riding this bike who has recently had a hip replacement, or if they have medical issues where riding a fixed gear bike could compromise some area of a rehab injury, or just someone who's very, very fragile from the hips down to the ankles, the smart release on the new generation Schwinn Evolution SR can be adjusted in seconds with a smart release tool. It slides right in next to the flywheel, and you just turn a disc inside next to the flywheel to adjust the load on the clutch. So if you need a huge amount of slip so that there's no pressure when you stop pedaling, you can almost simulate a free wheel of a bicycle on this bike, which is really, really good. I found that out just in the last couple months selling it to specific parties that had medical issues and that had fragilities from just conditioned diseases and so forth. And the smart release adjustment feature on that is just like, it couldn't be any simpler. The Evolution, the third generation Evolutions also have a non-slip handlebar coating that's been redesigned so that it doesn't absorb sweat. It's very, very easy to clean. It has, you e-brake the bike here by pushing down on this lever. Dual bottle cages here. Both bikes come standard with just a basket and a strap pedal, although you could also upgrade the pedal. All the bikes I've talked about up to this point, you can put pretty much any pedal that will fit on a bicycle will fit on a spin bike. So if you use Crank Brothers, Speed Play, Time, any of the high-end specialty pedals found in the bicycle industry, they'll all screw right onto the bike, and you can use the shoe that goes with that pedal. Although most people who do indoor cycling use SPD or Look cleats. Again, these bikes have triangulated towers, and when you tighten the pop pins down on these bikes, there is absolutely no play whatsoever. They're stainless steel, so the internal rust is pretty much zero. They have the new spline technology bottom brackets, which are oversized dual bearings on both sides of the spindle, on the drive side and the non-drive side. This is without question the best, strongest, most bomb-proof bottom bracket of any indoor cycle in the commercial fitness industry today. So overall, this is a solid bike, and I've got lots of them. StudioCycles.com.